Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos and welcome to Cinnabar Island, where the Cinnabar Flare today are going to host the Veilstone combat. Combat are going to start out with Blaziken and my own shell. Surely they're going to have the speed advantage. We've got Charizard and Magmortar coming out for the Cinnabar Flare. Let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win today, the Veilstone combat or the Cinnabar Flare. Cinnabar Flare are currently sitting 7th, whereas the combat are sitting 14th on the ladder at the moment as we head into the halfway point of the season. My own shell with that speed of 105 is going to go coaching for Blaziken. So it's going to boost the attack stat of Blaziken. Blaziken already having an attack stat of 120. Its defense band at 70, getting that nice little boost as well. Charizard's going to go with a slack off. Charizard actually having 100 speed, so it's not too far behind my end shell. But surprisingly, Magmortar is actually quicker than Blaziken. Magmortar goes with the Leaf Storm, targeting my end shell, taking it all the way down into the red. What a massive hit. It's going to lower Magmortar's special attack, but an amazing hit on the first turn. Blaziken now is going to go with an Aero Blast, signature move of the legendary Lugia. Going for Magmortar in response to its attack on my own shell. As always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, so if we hit that 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. My own shell having that 125 attack stats, massive power there. Goes with the Aromatherapy, but unfortunately it fails. Charizard has that 109 special attack, and it's going to set up an electric terrain, so this will boost electric type attacks. No one's going to sleep on that electric terrain. Magmortar has 125 special attack, so it actually has more than Charizard. This time it's going with a Clear Smog. And it's going to target my end shell again. And it's going to finish it off. Cinnabar Flare getting the first elimination of this battle, eliminating my end shell from the Veilstone combat. Blaziken now with an opportunity to avenge its teammate. It's going to go with a submission. It's going to get that stab boost for the fighting type move. Targets Magmortar and eliminates Magmortar in response. So Magmortar is down. There's one Pokemon down from both teams. Blaziken does get the recoil damage from that. And we have Surfetch coming out for the Veilstone combat. And Darmanitan in its Unovium form coming out for the Cinnabar Flare. Darmanitan having its hidden ability since it's on the home side of... So we could potentially see it change form in its Zen mode. Charizard now with the speed advantage is going to go with a bind. Targeting Blaziken, its fellow fire starter. So Blaziken is going to start taking damage in between turns. Darmanitan with that massive 140 attack stat, but it doesn't matter, it's going to go with an explosion. We're not even going to see it hit Zen mode. Eliminates itself, massive damage to everyone on the field, but no eliminations other than itself. Darmanitan is out of this battle. Unbelievable. That just took itself out so unnecessarily. Going to see a Weather Ball now coming from Blaziken, so it's going to be a physical. It's going to do some damage to Charizard, and this should eliminate it. And that is now 3 down for the Cinnabar Flare. Unbelievable. You do not want to see Surfetch do an explosion. That will not help the Veilstone combat. Instead goes with a Shadow Claw, but it has no one to hit. Unbelievable though by Darmanitan as Arcanine comes out for the Cinnabar Flare. It's going to be joined by another Fire Starter Pokemon, Cinderace. It's going to have that Libero hidden ability, so it's going to change typing every time it does a move. Arcanine coming in with that 110 attack, 100 special attack. Cinderace having the speed advantage of 119. It's also got that 116 attack as it changes into the Ice type, and it's going to go with an Icy Wind. So it's actually going to hit both Blaziken and Surfetch. This should finish them off, and it does. They are both eliminated from this battle, so we are all tied up on the field at the moment. Hopefully Arcanine doesn't sacrifice itself. And Arcanine's just going to go with a Frenzy Plant, but it has no target. So we are less than 5 minutes into this battle, and already half the field has been eliminated as Conkeldurr comes out for the Veilstone combat. And Lucario will join it by its side. Lucario has regularly been in the first half of its side when it's come onto the field, so it's never come out onto the battlefield this late. Lucario coming in with that 110 attack, 115 special attack. Cinderace's type will change to electric as it goes for a wild charge on Conkeldurr. Massive hit there, taking Conkeldurr down into the yellow as Cinderace gets that recoil damage. Arcanine is going to follow up, so all the speed's on the side of the Cinnabar Flare. And it's going to go with an Infestation. Probably won't do much damage at first, but we will see Lucario taking damage in between turns from that Infestation. Lucario now with an opportunity to respond, and it's going to go with an Aurora Beam. Looks like it's going to target Cinderace. A decent hit there onto Cinderace. Conqueror, with an opportunity to follow up, has a massive attack stat of 140. Goes with the fake out. And it does continue to target Cinderace, taking Cinderace down into the yellow as that infestation eats away at Lucario. Now, Cinnabar Flare have a 5-3 record. They were previously sitting on top of the ladder, but they have slowly been slipping down the top 8. As I said, they are in 7th now. They do want a victory today to keep themselves definitely in the top 8. That Zap Cannon will fail from Cinderace, as Arcanine is going to go with a Reflect type, so it doesn't go for an offensive move. Instead, it's going to copy the fighting type of Conqueror. Now Lucario has its opportunity. It's going to go with an Eerie Impulse. Targeting Cinderace. Cinderace's special attack will be lowered. Conqueror now needs to take advantage of its massive attack stat. Instead goes with a Poison Gas. It's going to leave both Arcanine and Cinderace poisoned, so they'll be taking damage in between turns from that poisoning. Now, Veilstone Combat are currently sitting 14th. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and in all 3 of those battles, they've actually lost 5 to 6 every time. They do not want to repeat that again today. They do not want 4 in a row, especially being so close. So hopefully they can stop their losing streak and try to inch their way back up closer to the 8. Especially now that we're halfway through the season. Teams will be making their fight for best positioning leading into the finals. Cinderace still with that speed advantage, and it's going to go with a reversal, so its type's going to change to fighting. And it's going to target Lucario. This will be super effective, and it eliminates the Steel Fighting type. Lucario has been eliminated by Cinderace. Arcanine with its opportunity to solely target Conqueror. It's going to go with a Sheer Cold. It's a one-hit KO move, but it will be avoided there by Conqueror. Going to see a payday now from Conqueror. See that those coins scattered all over the field. Decent hit there onto Arcanine. As Cinderace will take damage from that poisoning, but it just holds on. Arcanine's also going to be taking damage from it. I'm about to see the last Pokemon for the Veilstone Combat come out onto the field. It's going to be Poliwrath, a water fighting type, so that water advantage it'll have over the Cinnabar Flare will be fantastic. It has that 95 base attack. As I've said in previous battles, it is the only Veilstone Combat Pokemon to have an attack stat of less than 100, although 95 is still very impressive, as Cinderace goes with an Autotomize, so it will change to the Steel type as it will look to boost its stats. There it is, raising its speed. It's already the quickest Pokemon on the field. And no one from the Veilstone Combat is going to be any quicker than it, as we get a Storm Throw now from Arcanine. Targeting Conqueror, and it will eliminate Conqueror with that critical hit. So the Veilstone Combat are down to their last Pokemon, as the Cinnabar Flare still have 3 Pokemon remaining. Poliwrath is going to need to come up with something big. It's going to go with a Heat Wave, so this won't be very effective on the Cinnabar Flare, but it will hit both opposing Pokemon, and it will eliminate Cinderace from this battle. Actually being super effective, sorry, due to the constant type change of Cinderace. I believe it was a Steel type. You start to lose track with it changing every time. Amazing though, that is exactly what Poliwrath needed to do, as Flareon comes out for the Cinnabar Flare. Flareon's coming onto the field with 130 base attack. It's also got that 110 special defense. Now speed advantage will be going to the Cinnabar Flare with Arcanine going first. Goes with a lovely kiss, which will put Poliwrath to sleep. That is not what the Veilstone Combat need, as Poliwrath is still fast asleep. It will not wake straight up. This is Flareon's opportunity. It's going to go with a conversion too, so it doesn't go for an attack. Instead, it's going to change its type. It's going to become a Dragon type. Arcanine's suffering from that poison, so Arcanine only has a matter of time, so if Poliwrath can hold on, it could potentially make this a one-on-one battle. Arcanine needs to go for something offensive here. It goes with a Focus Energy instead, so it's just going to look to get pumped. Arcanine having done previously very well, but Poliwrath has woken up, and with the way those eyes opened, it looked very intense. Poliwrath is going to go with a Surf. This will be super effective as it rides that Surf, and it's going to hit both Flareon and Arcanine. It will eliminate Arcanine, so we now have a one-on-one battle between Flareon and Poliwrath. Poliwrath has taken this from a 3-on-1 down to a 1-on-1. That is fantastic, as Flareon will go with a miss. Now, as I said earlier, 3 games in a row the Veilstone Combat have lost, and they've all been 5 to 6. This could be the 4th time it happens, which will be terrible. But Poliwrath does have the speed advantage over Flareon. And it goes with an Iron Tail. This won't be very effective on the Fire type, but it still gets a massive hit, taking Flareon all the way down in the yellow. Flareon's going to respond with a Steel type move of its own with a Metal Burst. That'll also take Poliwrath down into the yellow. These two are hitting huge. Again, Poliwrath still has that speed advantage, so this is its opportunity. And it's going to go with an Electro Web. It doesn't do a great deal of damage, however, to Flareon being not very effective. Flareon, with its opportunity to respond, goes with a Future Sight. So this move will not hit now, but if the battle lasts long enough, Poliwrath will take damage from this in the future. So Poliwrath needs to finish this as quickly as possible. Poliwrath is going to go with a Rock Smash. And that is it. Poliwrath has gone from a 1v3 disadvantage to winning the battle for the Veilstone combat. That is amazing. The Veilstone have broken their losing streak with a gigantic win over the Cinnabar Flare. That is amazing. A fantastic performance there by Poliwrath to hold on. As the Veilstone combat next week will travel to Fortree City to take on their rivals, the Fortree Flares. This, by Darmanitan, that explosion was just so unnecessary by the Cinnabar Flare. That could have cost them greatly. They were able to actually hold themselves together for most of the battle, again, until Poliwrath came out and handled its tasks so well. But again, next week, the Rivalry Round Veilstone combat will be challenging the Fortree Flares, whereas the Cinnabar Flare will be hosting the Lumiose Lightning. So they'll still be on Cinnabar Island. They will want to look to avenge this loss, as Lumiose Lightning and Cinnabar Flare started off this season fantastically, and they both have fallen down the ladder slightly. They're going to both want to respond with big wins next week. Arcanine and Cinderace doing very well to eliminate Conqueror in Lucario when things were all tied up. But again, Poliwrath getting those 3 big eliminations, going with the double moves, hitting both opposing Pokemon, did very well for Poliwrath, and then focusing its attention onto Flareon. And Flareon, even on its own, responded very well. That Metal Burst was very impressive. And even right in that Surf, taking out Arcanine, but here it is, Poliwrath, with that Rock Smash, getting the win for the Veilstone combat. Hopefully they can move their way up the ladder. But Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on build today. And always remember, you are awesome, and I will speak to you next time.